views and whatever, but it took back to the question. The premise of that book was that the rats kept going to find the cheese, and then the cheese moved. And some rats just went back to where the cheese had always been, and they starved to death. And some rats figured out that the cheese wasn't there anymore, so they had to have another plan. And it was a fable, essentially. And it's actually a business book that I think needs to be republished for the day today. It's more relevant now than it was even back then, 15, whatever, however many years ago. So go have a look at it. Go buy the book and support the author for a start. What digital has done is that it's moved the cheese. And, I see so many people going back to where the cheese used to be. And I've worked for a lot of companies who keep looking for the damn cheese in the room where it was. And it's gone, it's gone. The cheese has moved. And so I think that it's not the content, it's not the creative that's changed. The art is the same, the book is the same, the picture is the same, the music is the same. The cheese is the audience. Don't go back to where your audiences were. They're not there anymore. The cheese has moved. So go have a look at that book. It's awesome and more relevant now, I think, than it was even back then. Thanks, Jane. We have another question by this lady down here.
You can't hear? You can now. It was just to give us some confidence, really. There was some research published at the end of last week in relation to the National Theatre broadcasts in cinemas that not only proved that attendance didn't drop in the areas around the cinemas where the National Theatre live broadcasts were made, but if the theatres then programmed that work, the audience figures grew. So for me, that's a really, really big message about using the networks really intelligently to mitigate risk and to tell the right stories about the organisation and to let your audiences and potential audiences connect. So it doesn't undermine audiences and they still want the live experience. That's nearly a comment, actually.
Oh, look at that. Oh, it's a tsunami of hands. The lady down here, and then we'll take the question from the lady further back. Right there, yep, thank you.
There's been a real focus on what you've all said about giving people what they want and knowing your customer. And I'm wondering if that might be making audiences less willing to take a risk, because personally some of my best arts experiences have come from completely left field. I never would have gone looking for something like that. And the more audiences don't have